Welcome to Mideast Manufacturing's Percussion of the World. In this tape, we will be demonstrating basic techniques and rhythms on the Arabic doumbek, tambourine, tar, and mushar, the Indian tabla, the Celtic bodhran, the Brazilian pandeiro, and the Balkan tupan. You may view the entire tape or scan to the instrument of your choice, and feel free to pause the tape to practice what you've learned or to take notes. Rhythms that you learn on each of the Arabic instruments can be applied to all of the Arabic instruments. So enjoy your journey around the world of percussion. My name's Robin Adnan Anders. The drum I have in my hand now is a ceramic doumbek. It's also known as the Arabic tabla. It's made from clay. This one has a plastic head, an artificial head, that's designed to imitate natural skin fibers. Some doumbeks have natural skin heads made from various animals, goat, calf, fish being the very best head you can get. The position of the drum is across the lap with the front leg out a little bit so as to create just a little dip here, little cradle. And the left leg you pull in a ways to give yourself a little height. Some of the basic sounds on the doumbek are the doom, which you get with fingers together so that the pads of the hand strike the drum just inside where the head meets the shell. The tack is with the ring finger of the left hand, just again where the head meets the shell itself. So some of the hit is on the ceramic itself. You want to take this hit in a very relaxed way from the elbow so that it lands right there. Just a slight twist of the wrist. Better to have the wrist going slightly this way than this way. Just a little, to give it a little more power as you bring it around. You can also do techs with the left hand. Again, it's the ring finger on the left hand. And we also have a lighter tech with the fingertips. Now, if you take this fingertip hit a little stronger, you'll get more of a slap. We call it a grab technique. And if you cup your hand and come up just a little bit across the top of these fingers, you get the pop. Another way to get a nice pop is just with the fingernail, right in the center of the drum. You rest your thumb here, and you hit. Get a very nice sound there. Another sound can be made, a variety of sounds, by dividing the drum into two sections. You can place this part along the ridge of the thumb just above the center of the drum to dampen it for very high techs. And this enables you to use your ring finger on the bottom, right again where the head meets the ceramic, to get this variety of sounds. Also, using this part of the thumb, you can get what is known as the ka stroke. You can also get that sound with this part of your hand, the back of the palm. And also, just by lightly touching the middle finger here. The first rhythm I'd like to teach is called the ballady. It's a common Middle Eastern folk rhythm, and we think of it as being 8 counts. The easiest way for me to explain it would be in Dumbek language, which goes doom, doom, tek, a tek, doom, tek, a tek, rest. Doom, doom, tek, a tek, doom, tek, a tek, rest. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you can do a common variation, the maksum, by switching the second doom of the phrase, the second beat, to the right hand tek. Then we have another variation on this is called wad al-nus, which means unity and a half in Arabic. And we do this using the ka technique I demonstrated earlier. It goes doom ka tek ka doom tek ka doom tek ka tek doom tek ka. I'd like to show you now how to do a round using these variations. This will enable you to have a little song and teach you to flow with these different variations of basically the same rhythm. So I'll play 2 balladies, 1 wad al-nus, and 1 maksum with a pop on the end where we were doing the rest. Now, some embellishments you can do to color up these rhythms as we played them would be the flip, which is a fast right, left, right. That counts as 1 beat. Another thing you can do is rolls, and the best way to practice these is using the ring fingers, just going back and forth. This will build the strength in your hands and your fingers and enable you to play a lot of these things much easier. Another exercise to embellish with are the finger rolls. Starting with the small finger, just count 1, 2, 3, 4 with both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gradually building up speed. Also, a nice finger roll sound is with the ring finger and the thumb, and you do this simply by rotating the hand, just twisting it here from the elbow, right here. Now I'll just play a short improv using these rhythms and some of these embellishments so you can advance at your own pace at home. This is another member of the doumbek family. This drum is made from metal. It's called durbaki by the Syrians, who were the first people to make this drum. It has tuning lugs on the side, which means you can get it to different pitches, and you should always remember to try to tune these drums so that the tension is very even all the way around, or very slowly, and you can check the tension by hitting right by the lug. In other words, you would go around with the wrench and see that these meet to get it in perfect sound. Now you can hold this drum, as we did the ceramic one, across with the right leg out, this one back, and use this same technique. Or you can play this one between your legs, flat hand style, like this. Now the sounds are the doom, made with the fingers together, is slightly cupped with the pad of the hand, striking the head just inside the rim. And the tacks, which are left hand, ring finger, right hand, ring finger. Same holds true if you're playing it flat style. Boom, tack, tack. Also, you can get a light tack or a soft grab with your fingertips. A basic rhythm that you can start with is called the ayub. It's counted as a 2-beat, and it's played or 1, 2, and. We think of it as 1, 2, and. Now you can also add variation by thinking of it as 1E and 2E and Then you're able to add this embellishment on the 1E and So it's Now you can also do rolls as another embellishment to fill those two beats. So you can do 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have now you can also do finger rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Working slowly and gradually building up your strength on those. And finger snaps sound very good on this drum. This comes off the thumb just as if you were snapping your fingers. Another embellishment is the flip, which is a quick right, left, right, left. Now I'll do a short piece using these embellishments. Now I'd like to demonstrate the Arabic tambourine. It's also known as the rick or the deaf. It's a wood frame with a natural skin head, holes for what we call the zills, the metal clackers. It's held with the thumb depressing this zill on the inside and gripped with the index finger on the bottom and the front. You grip it there and then you find the balance. The arm is about straight out like this, and just find a comfortable place there. Some of the sounds that you can get from this instrument are the doom, which is played with the index finger, the tack, which is played with the ring finger of the left hand, the rim shot, which is right where the head meets the rim for a high-pitched hit, the rim hit, which is played across the top part of the fingers right here, the grab, which is done with the fingers slightly spread in the center. And there's a slight rise just to free up the cymbals a little bit so they ring out. And also, it is played in the classical style by flipping it over, gripping it here with the index fingers, and flipping it over so the zills are quiet, and played with the ring fingers underneath. This is for very quiet, dynamic sections. The rhythm I'd like to teach is called the shiftatelli, and in our Arabic percussion language, we say doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, doom, doom, tek, rest. Doom, tek, tek, doom, tek, doom, doom, tek, rest. We count this as 8 beats. One, variation on that using our language of Arabic percussion. Doom, tek-a, tek, tek, tek-a, tek, tek, tek-a, doom, tek-a, doom, tek-a, tek. Doom, tek-a, tek, tek, tek-a, tek, tek, tek-a, doom, tek-a, doom, tek-a, tek. Doom, tek-a, tek, tek, doom, tek, tek, doom, tek-a, tek, 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 doom, tek-a, tek. Now, a couple other sounds that you can get on this instrument are the shaking sounds. These are where you get the zills in motion, either by just vibrating the right hand on the rim, you get this sound, or finding your balance on the left hand, and this is by getting your left hand real relaxed so you can just move it between your thumb and your finger. Just get it going like that. Now I'd like to demonstrate all the sounds we learned on this recent variation. Start with the zill. Doom. Now the rim. Now the grab. Now classical. Now I'll do a short improv showing all the various sounds that you can get on the instrument, including this shake, which you get by rotating the tambourine just from the center with two hands, or with one hand like this. This instrument is known as the Arabic tar. It's a wood frame drum. This one has a plastic head. I wanted to make a note about the difference between plastic and natural skin heads. Most of these instruments shown today can either have a plastic or a natural skin head. The plastic heads remain constantly in tune. You don't have to worry about them sounding different. Natural skins on very humid days will drop in pitch. This can be alleviated by warming the head in a few different ways. One way is to gently rub the head with your hand. Another way is to hold it over a heat source, a light or a fire. But I caution that you keep your hand between the flame and the drum. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for the drum. So keep this motion over the flame until your natural skin head comes up to the pitch you need to play. The tar is held with the arm pretty well straight out, gripped with the thumb through the hole in the bottom. with the index finger gripping in the front. Here again, you find the balance, and that's your basic position. Now the sounds are the doom, which we get just inside the rim of the head, across the pad of the hand, or with the thumb, with a twist of the hand. The tacks are made by the ring finger of the left hand, down here, coming around, or the ring finger of the left hand. Another technique is the grab, the finger slightly spread in the center. And also the pop, which you get with the hand completely flat, right in the center, for a very loud, dead pop. The rhythm I'd like to teach today is called the Mazmudi. It's an 8-beat rhythm with the dooms on the first, second, and fifth beat of the phrase. And it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A variation you can play is, using the tech sounds, is doom, doom, tack, 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 a tack, doom, tack, a tack, 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 a tack, a tack, tack, doom, doom, tack, 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 a tack, doom, tack, a tack, a tack, tack, a tack, a tack, doom, doom, tack, 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 a tack, doom, tack, 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 a tack, doom, tack, 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 doom, Now I'll play a short solo showing some of the different sounds are made from this instrument. This is known as the mushar. It's gripped through this open hole on the side and set up so that your thumb holds it on the inside. And then by finding your balance here, where it holds like this, then we have our basic sounds of doom, which is played across the palm of the hand, just inside here. And the tack and the zills, which is out here. And there's also a very loud pop, which is a grab technique. It's right in the center of the drum with your fingers spread. You have a lighter grab that's accomplished the same way. And one of the basic rhythms would be what we call sadi, which is played Another very good rhythm to use with this instrument to back up when you're playing in a group of drummers or musicians is to play this figure on here. Another rhythm would be the ballady, playing the two dooms here. Some variations on that would be I'd like to say a few things about the tuning of the Musar. The drum comes with a wrench, and it goes on these bolts on the side. And what you want to take care to do in your tuning is making these all evenly tensioned all the way around. And the way you check it is you start tightening and listening, tapping right on each lug as you tune it. Then you go to the opposite side and you listen and see if they're the same. And so what you're trying to achieve is a balance of all the lugs around the drum.
I'm Marcus Wise, tabla player here on this tape. This instrument is made in India and played in Nepal, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. It's the accompaniment for classical singers, dancers, instrumental, and it's also a solo instrument. The right-hand drum is called the tabla. It's made out of wood. It's got blocks that keep the tension for tuning. The left-hand drum, or the bass, is called the bayan. Then they're set on rings called giris. The rings keep them off of the floor, and they also hold them for the player. When you sit in front of the tablas, these drums are designed for playing on the ground. So one of the most comfortable positions is sitting in the half lotus position, where the left leg goes in first, the right leg lifts under the left and down. The tabla is put in front of the body a little off to the right from center. And as a lot of people would play these not knowing, they would set them up straight. Actually, the tabla is tilted forward at an angle so the hand rests on it at a certain degrees. The left drum, or the bass, and for those of you who are left-handed, just switch everything that I'm saying. The bass sits directly off of the left shoulder. Baby powder is essential to keep the hands dry. Otherwise, the sweat from your hands will actually disintegrate the dark spot in the center. Tuning hammer is also needed, and I will explain how to tune in just a moment. First, when you look at the tabla, there's several different rings. The outer ring is called the kinar. The next ring that you see is called the sur. And the black spot in the center has several different names. Sihai, Gab. The very outer ring has 16 holes where the straps go through, and these are where you tune the instrument. I showed before the block. Logic would tell you that as the blocks come down all the way around the drum, the tension on the straps increases, so the pitch at the top goes higher. So if you want the instrument tuned higher, the blocks go down. If you want the instrument tuned lower, the blocks come up. When tuning, you check the pitch around the edge of the drum, and you're looking for a consistent tone. This drum is in pretty good tune, but if I wanted to tune it higher, I would strike it like so, hitting the end of the hammer on the straps. If I wanted to bring the pitch down, I use the opposite end of the hammer, and I knock from underneath the rim up, which pulls the head up and releases some of the tension. The pitch then will come down. It's very important when tuning that you look at the circle like a pie. There's quarters, equal quarters, all the way around the drum, and you can use the equal quarters, use the strap as your guidelines. You check this side, then you move a quarter turn, check this side, and so forth. Then you do the eighth, cut the pie in eighths. Take eighth turns. The bion is pitched at between F and A flat. I would say the lowest pitch for the bion would be the key of F, F sharp, G, G sharp is about the range that I like to keep the bion. Now getting into the technique of the drum, each sound on the tablas has a syllable which is taught the classical style of Indian drumming, so that each sound represents a vocalization. This is ta, T-A. It is struck with the index finger at the middle of the finger, hits the edge of the kinar, or edge of the lip of the drum. The ring finger rests ever so slightly, very, very gently, on the sur and the si high. So it's touching the sur and the si high. And the stroke is if there is a half moon shape this way, an arch. The thumb is against the index finger. The middle finger is straight. And the wrist is loose but firm, so that there's not a lot of tension there, but it's also controlled. And the stroke comes down. This is ta, T-A. The next stroke is tin. In this stroke, the hand comes back ever so slightly and then goes on an angled towards your knee. If your arm and wrist were to move out towards your knee. This is tin, T-I-N. The stroke is, again, called out of the index finger on the last digit, and it's hitting the drum at the beginning of the C high, and it's not muffling the pitch. If you muffle, you get this sound, but it's letting the skin ring. Ta and thin. The bion stroke is, there's two main strokes on the bion. The open stroke is called ga, and the closed stroke is called ka. Ga, G-A, ka, K-A. It's stroked with the end of the middle finger, and when the rhythms start rolling, the index finger and the middle finger are alternated. The palm of the left hand, where the wrist and the hand meet, sit right at the beginning of the C high on the bass. The rest of the hand or arm rests on the skin, not pressing down, but just ever so slightly resting on the skin. Ga, ga. The two strokes together change the syllable from da to dha, D-H-A. When the bayan and the tabla are stroked together, the syllables have D-H in front of them. So it's da singular on the tabla, with the bayan dha. Then tin becomes dhin, D-H-I-N. Thin, thin, din, din. The first rhythm that's learned in the classical route of Indian tabla drumming is called teental, T-E-E-N-T-A-L. And it's a 16-beat rhythm cycle set up in 4 bars of 4. And the beginning student learns how to count with the syllables, not numbers. But each syllable put in the 4 bars of 4 has a number with it. So it's dha, din, din, dha, dha, din, din, dha, na, din, din, ta, ta, din, din, dha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1. The reason I'm clapping on the 1, the 5, and then I'm turning my hand up on the 9, and again clapping on the 13, is to indicate the beginning of each of the bars, but also to indicate what is called the tali, or accented parts of the rhythm. The accented are clapped. The unaccented part of the rhythm, the hand turns up. Again, dha, din, din, dha, dha, din, din, dha, na, tin, tin, ta, ta, din, din, da, teen tal. Dha, din, din, dha, dha, din, din, dha, na, tin, tin, ta, ta, din, din, dha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, drum. The bass drum of this set also can vary the pitch of between approximately a full octave range by pressing with this part of the palm down ever so slightly, raises the pitch of the bayan, and then as you let up, the tone gets deeper. So when practicing teen tall, after it becomes second nature and you've got it memorized, then one can start fluctuating the bass tones as such. Da, in, da, da, in, da, na, in, da, da, in, da, and double, da, din, da, 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 da, din, and double from that. Da, din, da, 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 na. The right hand is, in the beginning of learning this rhythm, is the harder of the two because its strokes take the hand across different spots of the tabla. It's very important to keep this finger on the drum at all times in the beginning of your lessons. Eventually, with advanced lessons, it comes off the drum, but in the beginning, the ring finger is slightly bent along with the little finger and rests as if you were to pop a hair from your head and place it on the drum, and you're rolling it gently across. That's how light the touch is. It stays pretty much at the edge of the sur and the C high, and the thumb helps drop the index finger down. You let the weight of the thumb and this part of the hand drop down. And you're turning as if this were an axle or a lever of sort. Let it roll, let the hand roll back from the edge of the ring finger. Back to strike, back this way to hit. Cock, hit. Cocked, hit. That's for ta. For tin, it pulls back about 3/4 of an inch with the hand in position. This is the hand position from underneath side and top side. Middle finger's up, ring finger slightly bent with the little finger, index finger straight, thumb rests pointed up, not this way, up. And then you set on the tabla, cocked,